Claudia, would you like to be part of this episode? I would love to type you as well if you'd like to do what Yubi just did. If you just want to sit and watch or listen, that's fine too. I'll take that as a just sit and listen. Okay, did either Yubi or Mega... Oh wait, Claudia's mic's on.
Dum dum dum.
We all wait in great anticipation.
Me?
Oh wait, I heard something.
Can you hear me?
Barely. Try again.
Oh, can you hear me now?
A little bit better for sure, but still it's kind of a low volume. If you can either get right up on the mic or I don't know exactly what the other problem might be.
Hello? Wait, now I found the mic. Okay. I'm having to hold my computer up.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Um,
Hi. Can I type you like I just did with Yubi?
yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
But I'm not really. I don't know.
That that's fine.
didn't
I
get
don't.
to
Not
do
another
that.
word. Bip, bip, bip. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear another word from you before I do the typing. That messes with it. It makes it like unfair. Okay. So hold on.
Okay.
Oh, I've already started it. I think I should start over. No, I'll just leave this. Okay, fine. Hello, welcome. My name is Host Eric. Welcome to Talking Famous People. I'm here with famous person Claudia, who probably pronounces her name Claudia, but every time I see that name, I always pronounce it in my head Claudia. And anyhow, I have barely spoken to her, and we're going to begin typing right now. So, which of these sentences do you think better describes you? 1. I'm going to be cool. I'm fine. I'm not fussy. I don't get too upset about whatever. Everything's cool with me. I'm worrying to make sure those people aren't getting upset about this thing. That's what I'm fretting about. Because they're the ones who get fussy. They're the ones who have a problem. Or, number 2, those people can take care of their own emotions. I'm worried about how I feel about the situation. I have a clear understanding based on the fact that I don't like the way... certain things I don't like the feel of and certain things I do like the feel, and I know, you know? So regardless of that, the point is they can take care of their own emotions. I need to take care of my own emotions. Which one of those do you more agree with? Number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to turn it around on you. So you have a situation where you got 3 women and 3 men together in a group. They're 3 couples, maybe they aren't. No, they're not 3 couples. That makes a different dynamic. Let's say they're not 3 couples, okay? They're just 3 friends, 6 friends, okay? It's like the cast of Friends, basically. And they're hanging out, and the guy who's older, and he comes up, and he's a hobo in this instance. He's not a former military person. He's more of a hobo type, but he still looks tough and rangy, and like he's probably got a rusty knife somewhere in his bag. And he starts verbally harassing one of the girls in this group who's on the younger side, not you. Okay? None of the guys are doing anything. Walk me through your reaction to that situation.
Why aren't the guys doing anything? And walking the girl away.
Okay, so you're thinking. Are you thinking that question, or are you saying that question out loud to the guys?
I'm thinking that, and I'm walking the girl away. Because if they're not going to do anything, I am.
Bob, one of the 3 guys, he's like, Barbara, just go with him, okay? It's just best you just go with him because he's obviously wants you to go off with him. Just go ahead and go off with him because he looks like trouble. I'm worried about him.
What?
So
What is wrong with Bob?
I don't know. He's your friend. What are you doing hanging out with such a creepo?
I don't know.
So what do you say at that point? What do you say to Bob? What do you say to Bob?
What the F is wrong with you, Bob?
He says, "What? This guy looks dangerous." And the hobo goes like, I'm dangerous." He doesn't actually have a weapon in his hand, but he puts a pose up like he's holding a knife. Okay? I'm dangerous, he says. See? Said
Oh,
Bob.
wow.
Look how dangerous this
Oh,
guy
wow,
is.
dangerous guy. Go
He's-
away. Go bother someone else who's.
Hey, nope. Who asked you? Barbara. I'm talking to Barbara here. Who talked to you? Huh?
Come on, Barbara. Let's go away.
And Barbara's like, I don't know. There's something mesmerizing about his hobo charm.
Barbara, are you lost?
Okay, sorry. I got a little sidetracked there making jokes. My bad. All right, let's proceed with the typing questions. Sometimes my NE takes over and I start making jokes. Okay. Do you believe truth is created or discovered?
Discovered.
Okay. Do you believe that the group or the individual ought to be prioritized when they come into conflict with each other?
Can you repeat that?
Can you believe the group or the individual ought to be prioritized when they come into conflict with each other?
The individual.
If somebody were to come to you and say, look, Claudia, I know you say that we should not engage in this behavior that's been proposed, and you can't remember for the life of you what the behavior was you proposed, okay? But they say this to you. I know you think we should do this behavior you proposed, Claudia, but despite the fact that you make some good arguments, I still really disagree with you, and so do a couple other people in the group, so we should go with what the group thinks. What's your external reaction to that, and what's your internal reaction to that?
What was the behavior that was proposed?
You don't know. You can't remember. So you and all of a sudden, before you can ask, he's whisked away in a taxi.
We have cell phones. It's not 18.
You know what? He's whisked away in a taxi from a mountain resort in which you're both staying, and where there's no cell phone reception.
Approach the other members in the group.
They're whisked away with him in the same taxi. And they say, sorry, there's no room for you in the taxi. You have to catch the next one. And then they just drive away.
Oh, wow. Just go along with it.
I want to know what your thinking is if you don't know what the thing was, right? I'm trying to figure out how do you go through the thought process of dealing with the facts that you have and the facts you don't have mentally to come to some sort of conclusion about it one way or another, or if you decide not to come to a conclusion about it, how and why the thinking is behind that process.
Not to come to a conclusion till I can know my exact thought process, and know the exact behavior.
So are you telling me after this series of strange events has happened and these strange statements have been said that you're not going to wonder about it? You're going to sit there and say, well, I will find out later, and then just go ahead thinking about the fact that it's going to rain later today?
Yeah, I'm not going to stress myself out over nothing. That, if I can't figure it out, I'm not going to stress myself out over it.
Okay, interesting. Does anybody else in attendance have any questions for Claudia? I have some more for you. Imagine yourself, this is called the Mystery Island question. You wake up, you're in a room. There are 6 other people around you. You and all the 6 other people are lying on mattresses. Each of you is dressed in identical teddy bear pajamas. Now, as far as you remember, you went to bed last night in your own bed as you normally go to bed, with not in teddy bear pajamas. And there was no recollection of you waking up or anything happening to you. You were just asleep in your own bed normal, and now here you are waking up with this group of 6 people in identical situations. All the other people are asleep. The room's pretty dark. Here's what you can see. You can see there's a door, but from what you can tell, there's no knob on the door, but you can tell that it's a door form over on one side of the room. You can see there's a window that's letting in the little bit of light that is available to be seen by, and it appears to be fairly high up, probably too high for you to reach or look out of directly, on one of the other walls of the room. In the third wall of the room, there is a dresser that is comprised of drawers, like a regular dresser is. That's all you can see from where you are. And then on the The last wall appears to be blank. Okay. Plus, as I've indicated, there are these individuals around you. What course of action do you take first? Explain yourself. Explain how you process this moment and what do you want to do.
Go to the door. It would be. I'm sorry. I would go to the door because that would be most useful.
Okay.
I feel like
Hold on one second. You're really echoey. Do you have a speaker on or something around you, or are you?
no, I just have like the microphone on my laptop.
Oh, okay. So how are you getting the sound into your ears?
Through the speakers.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds fine now. Anyway, sorry. So, okay, you said you went to the door. All right, so you go to the door, and it is as appears. There's no knob on it, and you try to pull it open or push it open, and it doesn't push. You can get the sense that it might pull open if you could get a grip on it anywhere, but you can't get a grip anywhere. The slits along the sides are really thin, too thin for you to fit your fingers in, and you're not sure what to do about it.
I would go to the dresser after that.
Okay, so you go to the dresser. It's locked.
I would wake the other people up.
Okay, so who do you want to wake up first? There's an old lady, an old man, somebody my age, which probably seems old as well too, but I mean like old, like 80, okay? And then there's like somebody my age. There's so a male my age. There's a woman about 10 years younger than me. There's a 15-year-old boy, and there's an 8-year-old girl in the room. Who do you wake up?
Probably the man your age.
Okay, so he wakes up and he's cranky. He's like, "Ah, what are you waking me up for? Who are you? What are you doing to me here? Who are you?" What do you say?
Do you know where we are?
You woke me up. You must be responsible for this. Oh, who are you? Are you a terrorist?
No. Let me think. I would. What did I do?
It looks like he's getting sleepy again. He falls back asleep now.
It doesn't strike me as. Well, no, I don't want to criticize the question.
That's fine too. Listen, criticizing the question is a way of revealing your personality type as well. If you want to do that, feel free. The fact that you're hesitant to do so is also revelatory in its own way.
Because I don't feel like, because you're not that old. Like I don't think it would be that way. Like maybe the 80-year-old man.
Okay, well, all right. He's cranky though. You just woke him up. You didn't give him a chance to wake up. Maybe you don't know how long he's been asleep. Maybe he's only been asleep for like an hour, and he's kind of like in a dream partially. You jump to such conclusions. Jeez, you assume because he acts old, he must be like a super old 45-year-old or something. But he's not necessarily. He's just sleepy.
Okay, so I would try and wake him up again. And then I would go to the next person and wake them up.
All right, so now you got two people up. You got the little girl up, and you got the middle-aged guy up. They say, oh, I know what we need to do. I have a good idea on this. I found this little viewy thing here that shows the inside of this room and the outside of this room by a secret camera up there. Look, I can see there's a guard out there. We have to kill the guard. I've got a great plan. Here, Claudia, here's a really long knife. Go stick it through the slit in the door and it'll stab him right in the back of the neck and it'll kill him. Go.
No.
Why not? It's a great plan.
That's crazy. I'm not going to kill someone until I know like what their intentions are and like what's going on.
Oh, look, the guard is slipping a note under the door. Here it comes. You look at it. It says, "My intentions are to kill you all." And then he stands with the back of his neck to the slit again.
Then I'll kill him.
Oh, you will? Okay. All right. Any thoughts of anybody else on typing or questions for Claudia here? I could probably ask some more practical ones, but I don't have a really clear sense, probably because I've been making a lot of jokes. Do you prefer internal logical?
I don't have a clear sense either.
Do you prefer internal logical consistency or consistency with outcomes in the real world?
outcomes in the real world.
Do you feel better at achieving a set of instructions for getting other people to accomplish an outcome, or better at seeing and knowing what the best course of action is for those people?
Seeing and knowing.
Do you prefer cheese or yogurt?
Cheese.
Is it better to have more cats, too many cats, or too few cats?
I have too many cats.
You'd rather have too many than too few.
Yeah. Better them all be happy together than lonely.
Is
My guess is INFP.
I'm leaning there. I'm leaning there a little bit, but I'm not sure yet. I got a couple more questions.
Okay.
Okay. The next question was going to be, where did it go from the cats? Oh, would you rather have too many eggs or too few? So here's the question more specifically. It's Christmas morning, you're baking a cake. For some reason, it's 4 in the morning, you're awake. You have to have this cake made by 6 a.m. and all done baked and everything, right? The supermarket's closed. Now you got two options. They can give you almost the right amount of eggs for your cake, one too few. And you'll use all the eggs and you'll figure out some alternate solution. It'll make the cake not quite as good, but still good. And but it's still okay. Or they can give you 10 too many eggs, all of which have a hairline crack in them. So they'll all go to waste if you don't use them right now. And you'll either have to you could choose to bake 3 additional cakes to use them all, or you could choose to throw them away. What do you want to do? Which kind of eggs do you want? You want too few eggs or too many eggs in that context?
Too few eggs.
Okay. I don't know.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, Claudia. Do you feel like you have a duty to your family?
Somewhat. To an extent.
What do like one of your biggest weaknesses are?
People screwing me over.
I still stick with INFP.
Victimization ability, huh?
I still
Paul
stick
Klee,
with
Paul
INFP.
Klee, your name sounds super familiar to me. Can you please tell me who you are, or if I should know, or something like that? I don't know. Okay, so you still go INFP. Anybody else want to take a shot here at Claudia's personality type?
Let me ask another question if that's okay.
Yeah, go shoot. I'm kind of in the dark here. I'm not sure what to.
Claudia, what would you rather do? Go outside for your favorite activity, like for a walk or something, or sit inside and read a book, or watch your favorite TV show?
Inside.
Okay. Do you like, what sounds better to you? Ruminating over an idea, or some grand idea, or something grand you could do with your life, or you know what? I need to reword that question.
What do you like better,
Okay.
philosophy or math stuff? Philosophy stuff or math stuff?
Philosophy.
Philosophy stuff or drama, like acting in a play?
Drama.
Drama or writing on on a newspaper?
Writing on a newspaper.
Writing on a newspaper or being a gourmet chef?
Chef.
Being a chef? being a chef or being a professional athlete?
A chef.
Being a chef or being a designer of fine guitars?
A chef.
Being a chef or owning the world's greatest golf course?
A chef.
I think you need to be more greedy. Okay, well, any other thoughts from any other guests? Yubi, I know you you have an additional thought. I'd love to hear it, and I will in a second. But I want to make sure everybody who wants to have their voice heard, please voice it now. Meg Rowe, any thoughts, or Paul Klee, or any of the other people, or Vince Walker, or just a post hominid.
When you're around your friends, do you get really goofy, or do you just stay the same?
Goofy.
That makes me think more of INFP.
Yeah, that's where I'm at still.
I for some reason I'm leaning INTP. I don't know why. I just smell a little INTP in there. You know.
I got too much FI from her.
Okay. Well, do you feel as strongly about a position like animal rights or something like that? Do you have powerful emotional feelings about that? Does it make you cry to think about animals being mistreated, stuff like that?
It doesn't make me cry. It makes me angry.
Okay. Do you see the world as a... Do you see it as a dismal place? Do you think there's a lot of bad going on in the world, or do you tend to see things very positively? Like, do you think...
Are you overall an optimist or a pessimist?
There you go. Thank you.
A pessimist.
Pessimist. Okay, well, I'm going to go INFP too.
INFP.
INFP. Claudia, do you know what you are?
I was typed on this online quiz once, and it said I was an INTP.
INTP. Well...
But I'm not sure.
I mean, like I said, I still smell some introverted thinking high up in that stack. A lot of these answers are parsed out, I think, for reasons beyond the intuitively obvious reasons we're probably deducing from them. That's the reason I think there's TI there. Do you understand that sentence clearly, what I mean by there, and do you agree with it? Or do you think, like, you sound like you're just sort of splitting hairs about a bunch of nonsense?
I understand it.
Do you agree with it?
Yeah.
I think Claudia here is an INTP.
I'd have to hear more.
I'd have to hear more too, though. I mean, that's just
I
my
would
gut
definitely consider
instinct.
it.
Claudia, you
gotcha.
feel free to say no. I don't want to answer that question. You don't want to, but I'm curious. Would you be willing to tell us your age or an age range?
I'm 15.
15. Okay. Then I'm even more inclined to think you're an INTP. Do you get your feelings hurt a lot?
Yeah.
Maybe you are an INFP. I don't know. INTPs get their feelings hurt a lot too, though, actually, but they don't normally reveal it necessarily publicly.
Yeah, to say, they wouldn't normally admit that so quickly, but...
There's also a gender issue, right? So, females, I think,
No,
behave,
I was just taking that.
behave somewhat differently in their... No, don't worry. Hey, it's all good. No, I forgot, for new people in general, we do have the same rule that we have in Frisbee around here. No sorries in Frisbee, and no sorries in talking with famous people. Except unless you actually say something like bad you feel you need to actually apologize for. What you just did was apologize for a throw that's offline and that hit the tree instead of the person you're throwing to. And there's no sorries in Frisbee, and there's no sorries in talking with famous people. So, and it wasn't even like that bad. That was a bad analogy because it condemns your behavior, yada yada. FE dance. Okay. Do you do FE dances like that, where you try to make sure everyone's feelings are okay, or do you really not so much care about that stuff?
Not really. Well, it sort of depends on the situation that I'm in. If it's people I don't know, like, let's say, like, I joined, like, a new club, like, yeah, at the beginning of when I meet them, I will sort of dance around. But once I've sort of, but if it's my family, I don't really care.
Charles Barkley's French Poodle, can you please comment from an INTP perspective of somebody who's a little closer in age to Claudia than myself as to whether this she resonates as more INTP or more INFP? Let's see if Lorenz Walker has anything to say. INFP listener, I would love to get input from you in the chat here as to whether this individual rings INFP to you. If you just want to say, yeah, INFP, or no, not INFP, that would be great. We know it's just your opinion and not any sort of firm truth to it. But trying to provide all the disclaimer protections for any position statement you might be willing to offer on that.
Hey, Claudia.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if everyone around you has a strong sense of self or identity and you really struggle to find yours? Like, do you
Yeah.
feel like you are a chameleon in social situations? Like you have like a
feel
lot
like-
of social masks, I guess you could
Wait,
call
let's
it?
go back to the first question you asked. I want you to ask that question again. She said yeah to, and she sounded sort of surprised that you had correctly identified a quality of her. So I want to spend a little bit of time on that quality. What was the question again? I forget what it was.
I said, do you feel like everyone around you has a strong sense of self or identity, but you struggle to find yours?
Okay, thank you for asking that question. That's a great question. And you feel as though, yes, that's the case. I think it's an interesting question. I'm not sure if there's a 100% clear distinction for me in my head. I assume it's meant to identify an INFP more than an INTP, but I think an INTP very well may identify with that strongly also. I think NTPs in general...
It goes for... I think it works for both, but I wanted to see how she answered it, if she elaborated any more, but she just gave a yes.
But she gave a
didn't
surprise
really
yes.
elaborate.
She gave a surprise yes that, oh, hey, yeah.
Yes.
Now, is that surprise, Claudia, is that surprise at realizing it's true about yourself, or is it surprise that somebody else would know that or make that statement?
Sort of surprised as it admitting it to myself.
Okay. See, that sounds more like INTP. Like, oh, yeah, that is true about me. I hear words that reflect emotions, and I know them now. But, of course, they're not as bad about that as ENTP, but I think that's why that smells like NTP to me. Other questions? Ubi had another one that followed that up. I'm sorry to have cut you off and gone back to it, but it seemed important. Go ahead.
I don't remember it now, so you're good.
Okay, well, this seems like a long enough video. Claudia, thank you for being a trooper and answering all our questions. We greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go without any reason really other than my gut. Oh, Megabro, you got a question. Go ahead.
How much do you love to snuggle your cats?
A lot. Way too much for a normal person. But then I also have
Who
5
doesn't
dogs.
love to snuggle their cats?
I love to snuggle my cat.
Yeah, do you?
4 cats and 5 dogs. And
I've got 1 guinea pig, 1 cat, and 2 dogs.
Do you love to snuggle your cats even though they're grumpy?
no.
No.
I'm just like, this. You're up yours. I'll go to the next cat.
Right. Your job is to be friendly to me, right? I think that's an NTP thing.
Well, if I can only put in so much work, like, for it to be, yeah.
Right, you're supposed to be a pet, for God's sake. Love me. I'll do the FE dance with humans. You love me, animal.
Mhm.
What are your interests? Asks Charles Barkley's French Poodle.
We're all over the place, really. I love to read, but that's sort of, I don't know who doesn't love to read.
What do you like to read? What's your favorite things to read?
YA novels. Just stuff that, like, I can sort of disappear into.
Are you more swords and dragons or more laser guns and spaceships?
Swords and Dragons.
Me too. I think that's another NTP thing. I think NFP. Okay, are you more swords and dragons? Or are you more romance heavy vampires?
Romance heavy vampires.
Maybe that's INFP then. Maybe that's the INFP variant of it. Do you like what do you like better, Harry Potter or Twilight?
Harry Potter.
See, you keep giving me contradictory answers back and forth. That's the NTP
Well, but
side
it
more.
depends on, like, if you give me too exact, then,
Could you-
like, I'll know exactly, but generally,
Could she be an INFJ? Anybody want to throw that possibility out there? Hey, Lacey, get over here. Lacey, come here. Come here. Don't be a bad dog. Come here. I want to show you to Claudia, since she has dogs too. Come here. Come to Daddy. Come here.
I don't know.
Lacey.
I really feel like the NE is there too much for an INFJ.
Yeah, and I don't sense an NI meta game here.
Yeah, me same.
Okay, so you both, but do you sense the TI or do you sense TEFI?
There's some FI and there's some TI. It's kind of a mix.
But see, and you got to be careful because INFPs do exhibit a lot of TI. I mean, really, at least in my experience.
Is this more socializing you've done in a while, or is this just the tip of the iceberg for your socializing?
Probably. But that's because I've been homeschooled for like the last 4 years.
That's gonna mess up typing, I bet. You're a tough one. You're a tough nut to crack there, Claudia. I've had some other tough people in the past when I've had a lot of trouble. That's why I went to INFJ. I finally realized, INFJ. But I think you guys are right. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's why I went there.
I need to see her. Like, if she sticks around and we have discussions other than just typing questions aimed directly at her, it'll be much easier, I think, to type her. I want to see her in action, like in discussion.
Well said. Thank you for watching Talking with Famous People. Please don't forget to eat plenty. Hi, Vega Bro, go ahead.
What proportion of your media is like cute stuff, and what proportion is like dry philosophy?
I would say it's about 60-40. I'm a contradiction wrapped in a contradiction.
Yeah, you are. You're a contradiction, all right.
It's like 60 FI 40 TI.
TI.
Like really
I agree. Okay, listen, we're going to have to stop this video because it's over 30 minutes and I'm trying to get the video sizes down, ideally. Thank you so much to Claudia for being a trooper and putting up with all of our questions. And thank you to UB for helping drive the questioning and for Mega Bro as well. And have a great evening.